Good morning and welcome back to my channel. It's 8:40 on Saturday the 28th of September and I'm just back from group. Wearing gold for the celebrations. It's the 50th anniversary or 50th birthday of Slimming World. And I was reminiscing this week about when I first went to Slimming World, and I'm hoping the answer to my question is going to be in Margaret's book. I want to know when it first started why it was called J and M Slimming. I still have in my mind that the J was a Janet, but all might be revealed in Margaret's book. This morning decided to get up early, go to the early group and weigh in. Firstly because I wanted to get it over with, which sounds a very strange thing for me to say, but it's been that kind of week. And I'm going to say right up front, I gained back exactly what I lost last week. We're not going to go into numbers, we know what we're talking about. I've had the strangest of strange weeks. It's been a week of anniversaries of bereavements and birthdays of people who recently passed away. And also on Monday it's going to be the birthday of my older brother. My older brother and I have been estranged for 6 years, which sounds like a really crazy thing to say. And I think I'm saying this and I'm being upfront about it because this happens in a lot of families. We never fell out, we might have had misunderstandings, and that leads to walking away and not communicating. And I texted my brother yesterday for the first time in a long time in the hope that we can reconcile or just at least make communication. I don't feel guilty, I don't feel responsible, I don't know what I feel. I feel sad that it's gone this far. My brother and I are only 11 months different in age and we were very, very close. When we were in primary school, every other year we were in the same class because we lived in such a small village. 30 kids in the school and 3 classrooms from the ages of 5 to 11. And when I look back on all that, I kind of ask myself, where did it go wrong? Not who's to blame, because that's irrelevant. And I don't want to get involved in guilt and recriminations because it's in the past and there's no point. You can only change the future. So I really felt compelled yesterday to reach out. Now, you might want to reach back, you might not. It's not going to make a big difference to probably how we live our lives. But you know when you get to 63, and my brother's also 63 at the moment, funnily enough, he'll be 64 on Monday. But when you get to this age, that phrase that we often bandy about, life's too short, you know, it starts to have some sort of reality. So all in all, it's been a very odd week. It was the anniversary of my sister-in-law's passing last Saturday. My sister-in-law was the gentlest, kindest, most thoughtful person, never said a bad word about anybody, and passed away at the age of 60, was she 60? 61? It's no age, is it? It would have been my older brother's partner's birthday on Monday, and she passed away recently. She was 63. This is young, you know, 60 is the new 40, and standing here at the age of 63 and feeling like 37 on the inside, it becomes a reality. When we were kids, anybody who was 60 or 70 seemed absolutely geriatric. People didn't live so long 40, 50 years ago. Now people are living into their 80s and 90s quite easily. And 63 is not old, you know. Yesterday would have been my mum and dad's wedding anniversary, and I think my mum really felt that because my dad passed away. And Wednesday was the 4th anniversary of my best friend dying. And all in all, my head has not been in the game this week because I just haven't felt Slimming World. I just haven't felt it at all. And I know that I've got my priorities wrong. When I first started to do this plan, which is like 4.5 years ago, because my friend died on the 25th of September 2015. And I got to Target on the 5th of December that year, so 10 weeks after he died. And I know if he was here today, the very first thing he would say to me is, bloody hell, Jane, you're too thin. He really would. And funnily enough, on the way to group this morning, I bumped into my next door neighbour's daughter, and she said, you're off out early. So I said, yeah, I'm just off to slimming. And she went, you don't need to do that anymore. For goodness sake, look at you, you look great. But I do need to do it. And I do need to make it a priority. And I think that's a place I've come back to this morning, realising that when I had what I used to call my Project Jane, which was focusing on my weight and my weight loss, I was comfortable, I was happy, I was living the dream. Now I've kind of put Slimming World on the back burner and it's not working. Now I'm not saying the plan's not working, I'm saying I'm not working it because I could do so much better. I need to get back to where Slimming World comes first. If I don't put my weight loss, my weight maintenance at the forefront of my life, it soon slides beyond the back burner and all of a sudden I'm not doing it anymore, and then I don't care anymore, and then I start to feel like, well, does it matter? But it does matter. It really does matter to me. So been to group this morning and all the gold balloons are up and everything and the room looked fabulous, and it was the big group that starts at 8 o'clock, so we get over 100 people through the doors. Very much party atmosphere going on this morning, and I want to be a part of that. Now I chose not to stay this morning because I've said so many times I'm not interested in tasters. You said, Joe, there was lovely food on the table, weren't there? Loads of it. Well, lovely food, Slimming World food. I don't do all that kind of, you know, crustless quiche and artificial sweeteners in everything. So it has no like pull for me, and I certainly don't do it at 8 o'clock in the morning. I am a breakfast person when I'm of a mind to be, but I couldn't eat the stuff that was on that table at 8 o'clock in the morning. But what I do need to do is I do need to be at group. And what I've been doing lately is not staying for image therapy. Excuse me. And I think image therapy is a massive, massive part of this plan. You know, we sit there and we go around the room and people say, oh, you've lost this and you've lost that. But there's so much more to it than that. Because the tips and the ideas and the help that we can give to other people are a massive part of the plan. If we don't talk about why we have the troubles that we have with food, it's never going to change. If we don't confess to why we've behaved the way we've behaved, it's never going to change. If we don't get it out into the open and stop it being a secret, then our secrets will keep us sick. I've always said that on my videos and I really believe it. If I start to become secretive about food, and I did it one day this week with you, didn't I, Joe? I was going to eat something, excuse me, that I shouldn't have been eating. So I'm kind of casually checking out with Joe whereabouts in the bungalow he was planning to be. And blow me down. He knew exactly what I was doing. And the minute I put the thing in my mouth, he appeared around the corner laughing. And I nearly choked, didn't I? I honestly nearly choked. I tried to swallow this. It was a little cake thing. And I tried to swallow it in one go and it went down the wrong way and it was trying to go down my windpipe, and I'm trying not to choke and he's laughing his head off because he knows me so well. I can be very secretive around food. I need it out in the open. So going to group this morning and gaining back what I lost last week is a bloody lucky break for me, because again I've come in 9 stone 30, excuse me, it's a bit early in the morning, 9 stone 13, a pound under that 10 stone. And that 10 stone feels like a mountain to me. And it's a mountain I don't want to have to climb. I don't want to go back there. I really don't. So third time in, 2 months, I've nearly hit the 10 stone mark. And I just can't go there. I just can't do that to myself out of choice. And everything I do is out of choice. It's not excuses. It's not because somebody did. It's not because my mother made me clean my plate when I was a child. It's not because my dad was a bit of a bully when I was a kid. It's none of that. It's because I choose to do this. And you know what? I can say with all honesty, every time I do it, I regret it. And I enjoy it for the few seconds or the minute or two that it's heading towards my mouth. Or more so for me, it's the buying of it. I love to buy things I shouldn't be eating. I get a thrill from buying things I shouldn't be eating. Then I eat it, then I always always regret it. Doesn't get me anywhere. Doesn't get me anywhere other than it gets me a weight gain on those scales. And it needs to stop. We were talking a few weeks ago, I don't know if Joe will remember this, about diet plans and chasing diet plans and chasing weight loss and things. And Joe relayed a story to me that, was it on Reddit, the one about the rabbit? Can you remember? The rabbit and the carrots?
No, it was YouTube.
Was it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Can you remember it?
Yeah, but you tell her.
Shall I tell it? Okay. Tell me if I get it wrong. There's a rabbit and it sees a carrot on the ground and it picks it up and it's just about to go munch, munch, munch when a few yards ahead it sees another carrot. So it throws this first carrot down, it runs to the next one and it picks up the next carrot and it's just about to go munch, munch, munch and it sees another carrot, so it's like, oh my God, throw that one down, run to the next one. That's what I've done with dieting all my life. It's always been a carrot, not a carrot and stick situation, just the carrot. And I've always gone for that carrot and then I've always seen something better ahead and I've run to that. Well, since I found Slimming World, I haven't needed to do that. Does that complete the story or was there more to it?
No, that was it.
That's the idea of it, isn't it? That we're never, ever satisfied with what we've got. We always want something more. So we always think the grass is greener and it's not necessarily. So what I need to do is accept that I have found the diet plan, the weight loss plan, the lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you like, it doesn't change it. You know, it's like the argument about sins and sins. You can call anything, anything. It's what you do with it. And I've got a plan, and I've got a plan that I know works because I've worked it and I've got down to exactly where I wanted to be and I've lived there for a good period of time until I've chosen to blow it. So I shouldn't be the rabbit who's running from carrot to carrot to carrot and not eating any of them because it always thinks the next one's going to be better. Sometimes when I'm in a binge mentality, that's how I eat. I always think the next one's going to taste better, so I might have a packet of 6 of something. I don't taste 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 because I'm focused on getting the next one, getting the next one. Then I get in number 6 and I think, was that all it was? Didn't even enjoy that. And it's mental, isn't it? But it's an addiction. Food can be just as big an addiction as alcohol or drugs or cigarettes or porn or any of the things that we recognise as addictions today. And sugar is known to be a bigger addiction than cocaine. Why don't I believe it when I hear these things? Why do I think I'm some sort of snowflake and it's not going to apply to me? It does apply to me and I need to change it. So this morning, one of the things as well, I've talked about this before, I really believe in gratitude and I really believe in generosity. And just lately I've bought 1 or 2 presents for people I really care about. But I've realised at group, you know, I've not been doing what I used to do in group, which was acting generously. So I'm not a person who can turn up on a Saturday morning with a scabby, half dried up satsuma or an old onion that I don't need. And believe me, some people do. I am a person who wants to put something interesting in the basket every week or donate raffle prizes because I believe to keep what I've got, I need to give something back. That's the law of the universe, you know. That's the way it works. The law of attraction doesn't just bring things back to you all the time. You get what you do, you get what you are, you get what you think. And if I'm not thinking generously, then maybe I don't deserve to lose weight. Maybe where I am with my weight is a reflection of how I'm feeling and how I'm behaving. I have to question that of myself. So when I went to group this morning, I was thinking of taking a raffle prize, but instead I took something extra special for the Slimmer of the Week basket. There's a big raffle in my group this morning because it's the 50th birthday party. But I thought, you know, what is better when you go to group than winning that Slimmer of the Week basket, acknowledging that you've actually achieved something. And what is worse than when you get the basket and it's full of scabby old fruit? That's not something I'd want. Anyway, I chose this morning to take a set of glass and stainless steel cappuccino cups that I bought recently, and just doing that, just putting that in the basket instead of a piece of fruit, a tin of tuna or whatever, tin of salmon, the sort of thing I'd usually put in. Just putting that in the basket just feels like I've made a gesture towards my future week. I've given generously of myself because I want those scales to give generously back to me, and I want to be in the right frame of mind to work the plan. I don't want to be in a negative place. I could stand here in front of this morning, I could go, I am so fed up. I've gained 4.5 pounds. It's the 4.5 pounds I worked hard to lose last week. Oh, I'm so fed up, I'm so depressed. You know what I'm going to do as soon as Joe switches this camera off? I'm going to stuff my face. Well, I'm not. I feel like I'm coming out fighting. I feel like I've got to do something positive. Last week's gone. The only thing I've got in front of me is next week. So, when I went to group this morning, I made a decision to start my new book. Now, this book's been around, nearly a year? No, it's probably 10 months, 11 months. And I was still using my previous old book, which I was actually on my second book because I've been going such a long time. I realised, I've been at group since the beginning of May 2015, and I have not missed a week's weigh-in. I've not stayed away because I thought I'd gained. If I've not been in Nottingham, I've weighed elsewhere. If I've not been able to get to my group, I've gone to another one locally. I want this weight loss. I want to be slim. I want to feel better about myself. The only bit I'm not quite getting right is what I'm shoving in my mouth. So, this morning, started my new book, Fresh Start. That's got the weight I am today. I'm not looking back over the old book, I'm looking forward with this one. And the other thing, in group this morning, they had out the Margaret Bramwell autobiographies. This book is heavy. I don't know how she's got so much to tell us. Weighed this book when I came in for group, and it weighs £1, 11 3/4 ounces. Who wouldn't like to lose that next week? This is Margaret's autobiography and the story of the start and the 50 years of Slimming World. I bought 2 extra copies this morning to give away. And that's what I want to do. For anybody who leaves a comment this week, you don't have to give me a like, you don't have to subscribe. Just leave a comment saying whether or not you would like to have this book. Well, I've got 2. I'll give away 2. Yeah. I can't read it. I'm hoping that there will eventually be an audio copy, or I'll get it put on audio somehow. I do think it'll be an interesting read. The lady's obviously had a lot of life experiences, but she started with a weight problem, and that's what gave her the incentive to do something to help herself, and then look how many tens or hundreds of thousands of people she's helped along the way. It's a positive thing. I think Slimming World stands alone in the diet industry. I think it's way ahead of all the other plans. It's had 50 years to evolve, whereas calorie counting is good and it works, but it's never going to change and it can't evolve because it's just a list of numbers for food items. And if that's what works for you, then brilliant. We've had Atkins, we've had Slim Fast, we've had, well, I suppose Weight Watchers does a good thing in its own way, but it's not so big here as it is in America. I once went to a Weight Watchers meeting in San Francisco and it was absolutely brilliant. Then I came back and went to a Weight Watchers meeting at the school up the road and it was absolutely crap. So I think the Yanks have it. They know what they're doing with Weight Watchers. So if you want a chance of winning a copy of Margaret's book, or you may have already bought it in group, it's on sale on the book table in group, £6. But if you want a chance of winning it, leave a comment on this video. That's me done for today. I've got my positive pants on. I need to take myself in check. Nobody can change me but me. No outside influence, no person, no power other than my higher power can change me. So it comes down to what I'm prepared to do. And if I'm not prepared to do it, then I deserve to get fat again. If I am prepared to do it, then I deserve to lose weight. So we'll see where the week takes me. I'll be back next Saturday. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is, some weeks I choose, it's a bit dusty, some weeks I choose not to stay to group, to come back and to put my video up. I need to get my priorities right. There may be occasions when my video doesn't get up on a Saturday morning. That's because in future I am staying to image therapy. Even if Joe's got to go to work and it necessitates me get a taxi home, I am staying to image therapy. because if I'm paying my £4.95, if I want to lose weight, if I want to do that by Slimming World, then I need the whole package. It's no good me just taking the bits I want and leaving the rest. I don't think it works in the same way unless you actually commit to it. And it's not only about what you can get from it, it's what you can give back in image therapy. Because people with a lot of years of experience can help somebody who's only been there a fortnight. Sometimes people who've only been there a fortnight help us too. So it's a two-way street. But I'll be back next Saturday. Thank you for taking the time to watch, and thank you for everyone who comments. Cheers, see you next week.